And good Tuesday morning, part two of the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Of course, it's Tuesday, so Fred Cerami's in the house. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, everybody.
And then, of course, Jamie Creel is becoming a regular fixture here as we talk about school choice.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, indeed.
Not school choice. Everybody calls it school choice, and I'm trying to decide what we should call it because they call it school choice or education freedom, and it's neither of the two. Because it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist yet.
Right.
Somewhere in some back room somewhere, they're devising up a plan. We'll just have to see what comes out.
I mean, at this point, they really need to. I mean, I'm glad we're having the hot topics and everybody's talking about it. But if we were to have an executive session for this, or even be brought up in the sessions in January, nobody knows what they're going to do. I mean, they really need to look at it another year. I think.
Well, can't they follow another state? Other states do this?
Yeah, other states do it, but not all. But they've run into the same problem. Can't fund it. Can't pay for it. And I got Russ Latino making a comment online like I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm going, excuse me, I don't need that. I mean, school choice. It doesn't exist. The choice. If you were going to read the bill to me right now, Russ, get on there. I want you to go on your newspaper site, wherever your website is. Write it up. Show us what the bill is where we can decide whether we should have it or not. But, the money following the kid, I understand. I like that. But in theory, it doesn't work.
Well, let me put a completely different spin than what we've talked about for the last 5 weeks. Okay. If you want to do it and you want it to pass, here's what you need to do. Okay. And this is Jamie Creel's opinion.
Yeah.
All right. After this year, the business rules are going to hit the accountability model with the State Department of Education.
Right.
Okay. And so in layman's terms, if I said the business rules are going to hit, that means nothing to either of you. Right. I mean, okay.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean? Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Since COVID in 2020, they have frozen the scores of most of these schools. Okay, as far as the accountability model within the public schools. Now, when these business rules hit, it's going to be more stringent and tougher for going to be so many that achieve an A-level status. There's going to be so many that hit the B, C, and D, and then, but it's going to be limited to the amount that receive an A. So technically what this means is majority of the schools and their grades will fall because the cut scores will be different. Okay. Now, if you go in, so we've talked about the Mississippi Miracle for 3 to 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
Okay. So the Mississippi Miracle, all these legislators are beating their chest. Well, now they're saying it took us 13 years to get there. Well, when you make a process like that starts in the 3rd grade, you have to work out your kinks first. It took you 2 to 3 years to work out the kinks. Now you're seeing the fruits of the labor 13 years down the road. Okay, so you're beating your chest, bragging on this Mississippi Miracle, and we're going to destroy it in one day when education seems to be at its highest point in Mississippi right now. I mean, we have climbed 34 spots in education, making ourselves one of the leaders, and people coming into the state to see what in the world we have been doing for the last 10 to 13 years in doing so.
Right.
All right. So when these business rules hit and everybody's grades drop, everybody's going to be in an uproar thinking that public education is not what it is. That's the time to come in and say, hey, we need school choice for these kids to go out and get a better education.
Right.
Not when we're at the peak of where we need to be and rising up the national level with complete education.
So is the Mississippi Miracle a real thing or is it a myth?
Oh, it's a real thing.
Okay.
And kudos to all the legislators and all the reform that was put out to, I mean, first of all, to make a plan like that where you don't allow 3rd graders out for not being able to read or whatever the case may be, that is a huge deal. Okay. Because what happens if you keep progressing that kid along, all right, then he continues to fail more and more because he didn't have the ability to read and comprehend, right?
Right.
And so if he can't read and comprehend, he's not going to be able to perform at the accountability level that he needs to perform at.
Right.
So it is a real thing. And the reason, people are saying, well, it took 13 years to do it. Well, it took you 4 years, 5 years to perfect the process in order to get it done. once they perfected the process, they were able to go back to first and second grade and get all the preliminary stuff ready, so they would be ready to take the third grade reading gate and pass it and show proficiency moving forward.
Okay, so that solves a lot of problems in my mind. So the fourth grade level now, you should be able in 4 years. Would be the next level, and you'd be at the eighth grade. And,
Correct.
And they would be, and that should move up the charts.
Yeah.
If it is working properly.
Right.
So
I thought this was partly fabricated
yes,
from the teachers reporting.
yeah,
No, there's a lot of fabricating going on now.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a lot of the test scores, and I don't want to get in and single out any schools right now, but man, there's some stuff that really makes you scratch your head.
Right.
And then the issue of, okay, let's since we're talking school choice and what's going on with schools, I was going to talk about the schools where we had shootings this past weekend. Okay. Those schools were all in 90% plus black districts.
It's fair to say.
By
Yeah.
race.
East Jasper Consolidated District over at Heidelberg, Leland School District, east of Greenville.
How do we change the culture
Mm.
inside a school district? I mean, I can teach you all you want. It's just like, for instance, today I'm at the Waffle House in Canton. I went to go eat between shows. Certain people said hello. I mean, and of the people walking in, some were respectful of opening the door and holding it for other people when they come in. And, these were black people. And then there were some that just walked in like thugs and didn't care. And I just go, how do we change that part of the culture? Because the good people are in school.
Mm-hmm.
The bad people are riding by with guns and shooting the people
Correct.
in school.
It goes back to what I said before, and I repeated this. I think I originally said it on Clay's show.
Right.
The way to fix the culture of a school, okay, is to provide the economy in the community. Okay. So most of the people that we're dealing with are single parent kids.
Right.
Most of the kids on the western part of the state, 65% come from a one parent home.
The Benny Thompson district.
Well, you said that.
I know, I'm going to say that.
But
I got to.
I understand.
Okay.
But here's the facts. Okay. When you grow up and you have, let's just say you have 2 to 3 kids,
Right.
and those 2 to 3 kids have one parent. One
Right.
parent working a job cannot, financially suffice for those kids.
That's correct.
So they end up working multiple jobs. Those kids then have no parental structure at the home.
right.
The street presence starts teaching them.
Right.
They learn to make money faster, quicker, and without an education, and that's the life they choose to lead. You're going to have to change the whole economy of those areas, make it to where a parent only has to work from 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, 9 to 5, whatever the case may be. Make sure that they're home with their kids, and they start back when the third grade is or earlier, working with these kids on their education at night. Now, when we were all growing up, if we had a question, we could go to our parent. We talked about our homework. If we got stuck, we talked about it. And then when we got to school, we talked about it.
Right.
Okay. We didn't have a phone that was our parent. We didn't have TV or Netflix that was our parent.
Right.
We chose to go outside. We had to come inside to eat. We had to come inside to do our homework, or we couldn't go out and play till we did our homework.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Those things are out the window. We have to get back to some facet of that, to where we're taking advantage of that parent being home and that teacher, or that parent being a teacher to help educate us to get us through the process. Because right now there are no parents in any homes with kids between the ages of 9 and 16 years old to help raise these kids.
That's right. That's right. We got to fix the home. And in order to fix the home, we got to have the jobs.
Yeah.
Benny Thompson, get to work, get some money brought into your district other than giveaway money. That's all he gets is giveaway. We need industry.
Sustainability. If you don't have sustainability, you have nothing. Industry brings affluent people to your district. I was in Vicksburg Warren School District for so many years.
Mhm.
Okay. Yet I watched the exodus of kids leaving in carpools on a daily basis from Warren County, going over and sending their kids to St. Andrews.
Right.
And then you have the influx of people working at the Corps of Engineers. They're shipping in bus loads and carpools from Clinton, which is an affluent district, for their parents to work there. Okay. So
Right.
you need to create an economy where the parents are working in that community, and then they can support that community, and they're not taking their money and living somewhere else.
And they have more time for their kids because they live there.
Correct.
rather than
Yes.
commute. I mean, because
Be
you
a
know,
parent.
it's just like Canton. If you look at Canton and you say, well, where do y'all work? Well, we work in Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put it in. I tell people why is the square dead? The square's dead because the square closes by 5 p.m. and nobody gets back home from work till 6:30. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be back. We got Jamie Crew. We're going to talk school choice, but we're just looking at some of the economic factors of what makes it what it is. But the reality is there is no school choice bill. There is no education freedom bill. I heard somebody refer to us as that we're anti-freedom people, and that's not it at all. So let's figure this all out, and we'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. And that's not it at all. So let's figure this all out, and we'll be back with more.
1039 WYAB.
This copy machine has me so frustrated. I could just body slam it.
Whoa there, leave the body slamming to the pros and leave superior high quality office tech to the experts at Advantage Business Systems, brother.
Woo! Get it?
Never body slam your copy machine again. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, laying the smackdown on bad tech.
It's time to fall into savings at Mazda of Jackson. With ball games, road trips, and all the busyness, don't miss a thing. With 2.9% financing for 36 months on a new 2025 Mazda CX-5. Or get 2.9% financing for 63 months on the 2025 CX-90. 1-year maintenance is included on your new vehicle purchase. And take advantage of the pre-tariff inventory that's almost gone. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services, LLC, or find them on Facebook. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's is a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Coming up after me, the one, the only, the Andrew Gosser with his, I'm sure he's going to be locked and loaded on the national issues, and y'all need to be listening, because what's happened overseas and the Middle East,
Unprecedented.
it was never supposed to happen.
Unprecedented.
They've been fighting forever.
Yeah. And you saw the Democrats, some Democrats just come out, and boy, they didn't want to say it, but hey, even Jimmy Kimmel last night.
Bill Clinton said
Hillary Clinton also.
You got to get so. I mean, that's just, you have to acknowledge what you for years said needed to happen. And the man's got peace in the Middle East, but he can't get Republicans and Democrats to come back to office.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean,
sad.
But, that's the state of America. And if he can get that in control, he might get a third term. Talk about light up the phones now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I want to go back to something you said earlier. Okay, you were at Waffle House this morning. How do you change this culture?
How do you change that culture? I don't
well,
know.
for the last hundreds of years,
right?
Look where the blacks have been compared to the whites.
Right.
Look what kind of life they live.
Right.
And we're trying to change it back 60 years, in the 60s,
right.
Things changed, and we're expecting this culture to change.
Right.
They grew up. They
grew up with
this
gifts.
is in their blood to act this way. They were slaves. Now you want them to,
Well, that's
open
what's
my
going
door.
on with the national issue of civil rights versus equal rights. Civil rights was a set of laws made up for blacks.
Right.
Okay. So what's going, and then it's coming before the Supreme Court, that civil rights will be outlawed because civil rights are based on race. So they're DEI, they're out. Equal rights is all that's going to matter anymore. So black and white is going away, and we're all going to be Americans when that happens. So that's,
this resentment's still in their blood right now.
yeah, it's in their blood. But then also you got to remember when civil rights were created, those were special rights given to blacks, and it was to help balance the thing. So they were allowed, they got first choice in schools, they got first choice in money at the banks, they got first choice everywhere. And then if they couldn't get that money, the government just handed them money. I mean, that's when you get dependent on somebody, it's just like a kid that grows up in a rich family, and you look at him and all his life he got everything he ever wanted. Then one day his parents died and he inherits everything. And then the next thing you know, that family doesn't have anything because he didn't learn any values about how to get that money.
Yep.
And that, I mean, you can't, we all know people that grew up wealthy, and you look at them after their parents are gone and they don't have any money. You go, man, they used to have tons of money. And you go, no, they got nothing now. And that's a cultural thing. And it's, you got to work for what you're going to get in life. You got to go to school. You got to get educated in all aspects of life. And like when you talk about public schools, we're teaching to the test rather than teaching to the child.
Correct. So when you go back over the history of the United States, what happened in the 1860s? What major event happened in 1860? Civil War. Okay. And was that a racial preface on that? I mean, was there any racial tension over the Civil War?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. 100 years later in the 1960s, what happened?
Same thing.
Civil rights, right? Civil rights, same things happen, racial tensions. Okay. I got accused last night on the podcast and radio show I was on last night of fear mongering. I'm not, this is no fear mongering.
No.
This is what I think will happen. Okay. On this school choice issue. Okay. This is 2025.
Right.
It would take roughly 30 years. And I think in 2060, okay, if we proceed with this, I feel like the segregation of these schools, what's going to happen, because the district that these kids are going into, they have to be accepted into that district. Okay. And I'm afraid what's going to happen is they're not going to take a low socioeconomic black kid.
Right.
Okay. For whatever reason, it's wrong in every way.
Right.
Those kids are going to be left behind, and we're going to be left with segregation once again, 30 years from now. I truly can see this unfolding and happening when you don't take care of the people that need to be taken care of.
And then you'd also have this situation when you're transferring a kid from school. Let's say you took their names off the thing. You couldn't have your name when you were deciding what kids were coming into your school.
Mm-hmm.
And you took the grade. Well, because the other student has grown up in a bad situation, his grade is not going to be as high as the other grade. And it will balance out from good family with a full home with mother and a father in it to the single parent. The single parent child is going to always be behind.
At the end of the day, every child in Mississippi deserves a quality education.
Period.
I don't care if they get it from the private school, the charter school, the micro school, the public school, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But when you start interswapping monies, okay, because these people that have been going to these private schools for years, and they're and they haven't been subsidized for the most part, except for the few that win the ESA lottery. Okay.
Right.
Those people, if we start putting money in those hands, imagine the amount of money that's going to be taken away to educate these other schools and these other school districts. It's going to be devastating unless they have a plan with this legislative talks that they're doing of how they are going to fund. Because like I said, if I have a child that attends private school and I've been paying for it for 10 years and you open up this legislation where a kid can go wherever, I'm going to want my taxpayers' money back and my $6,500 back that the state federal government gives each child. I want that money to go toward my kids' private school education. And those people, if you don't give it to them, I think they're going to be an outrage. Last night they said, oh, they won't be allowed to get any money. That is bull malarkey.
That's bull. And just like everybody that's homeschooling, everybody homeschooling going to say $6,500 needs to come to me.
That's right. And in every other situation. And all that's going to do is going to, I don't think there's any way Mississippi has the funds to come up with the $350 million plus day one to bring in these private schools. I've said that time and time again. I just don't see where they're going to be able to find that money in midterm to make that possible.
And the goal here for these politicians, let's say from a politician standpoint, the only reason why you'd be for school choice is because you want to make people happy you're looking for votes. You're not looking for.
Well, my question would be, how many of these legislators have ever been in education?
Right.
And that's the thing, you need to be, they need to be informed. And that's what our job is to do, is to inform these people. I'm not too far removed from education to be able to tell you about it. I'm in it every day. I'm in insurance every day. I talk to superintendents all over the place every day, principals, and I still have a pulse on education. And these people that haven't ever been in education, or it's been 20, 25 years, hell, there's a lot has changed in 20 years.
Oh yeah. Back when I was in school, you could spank a kid.
Yeah. Well, even when I was in school, I mean, they signed the form, you still spank them. I mean, we had corporal punishment at Warren Central when I was there.
And then they would take us, and I thought it was always strange that you'd take me out of a private school that we're paying money for and tell me that I've got to go cut the grass.
Can you discipline a child by spanking them down?
Absolutely. I mean, that we still, when I left 10 years ago, principal at Warren Central, we still had corporal punishment where you could spank a child if the parent consented. They had to sign a consent form saying they could do that. But I mean, that beats the alternative than putting them out of school to go be on the phone all day or be on the computer, YouTube, whatever the case may be, doing something that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Now, somebody asked the question, would it be cheaper and easier to fix the schools rather than musical school chairs? Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what we're saying.
Look, what needs fixing? I mean, we've moved 34 spots on we were 49th for so long. Now we're up in the top 15. There's not a whole lot that has to be fixed.
So what we want to do is blow it all up because it's working and start over again.
Yeah. I mean, spread the love to everybody. But the way, yes, it would be cheaper. And the way it would be cheaper is you just fix one area of the state. Mm-hmm. If you fix the non-affluent area of the western part of the state, then you've got this thing licked. I mean, we're going.
Would it be safe to say that the most failing grades, or let's say below B, are in the western part of the state?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be because there is no jobs, there is no
economy
to fund the situation. Mm-hmm. And although we fund the schools and we have, they get their $6,500 a student or whatever, and they're able to have class and have all that, but because the kid cannot learn when the parents cannot be home to help.
Look at this real quick, Chip. Okay. So Starkville-Oktibbeha consolidated their district.
Right.
Okay. Now, do you know after next year, do you know where all the Starkville-Oktibbeha kids, where their classes will be?
No, I do not.
They will be at Mississippi State. They have partnered with Mississippi State all the way through to give them the resources they need to be an affluent school.
Okay.
How genius is that?
That's genius.
I mean, they will be housed over there. They're already doing it at the junior high and elementary level. And then the high school will be incorporated after that on Mississippi State's campus. And I know there's not a university in every city, but, to have partnerships like that or to have something, I mean, the western part of the state has nothing. They have I guess Mississippi Valley.
You have
Alcorn.
You have all the HBCUs are in the western part of the state.
Right.
And then you'd have to also partner with the junior colleges, I would think, for this to work.
Yeah, but look at Vicksburg first.
Okay.
Vicksburg is dear to my heart because I was there for so long. But
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Corps of Engineers, which
Right.
is one of the greatest facilities in all of the world.
Yes, it is.
I could sit here and tell you things they do over there that would blow your mind. You wouldn't even think was feasibly possible to do. Why can't they partnership, with the government? Can you imagine a child's eyes lighting up if they get to go on a campus or something of that magnitude of a business to be able to show them the professionalism of what it takes?
Sure.
And that's what we need on the western side,
Role models.
of the state. Role models, what's out there, $200 selling drugs on the corner is not going to get you anywhere in life, but life behind bars. I mean,
Right.
and when you don't educate kids, when kids start killing kids, we see that time and time again. And so, to me, it would be cheaper to figure out a way to fix the Mississippi Delta and on down. And I know there's some affluent schools in Mississippi, but also there are some districts that you have one side that's doing great, one side that's not. A lot of these elementary schools, even in the Delta, are still segregated for the most part. Take Cleveland, for example. Right. Cleveland used to be 2 high schools. Now they consolidated to Cleveland Central.
Right.
Well, you still have the areas where the white people live and the black people live. And there's a difference in the grades in that.
Right.
Why? Because one's not getting the resources that they need at home or through monies, donated from wherever, versus the other kids. And that's just not fair to every kid in Mississippi.
And you only can throw so much money at the problem. So at some point there has to be community involved. And that's, and the parents need to be there, and they got to be there to carry them to practice and carry them to football and be involved in each and everything. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk some more about this on the Chip Matthews Show. We're talking school involved in each and everything. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk some more about this.
1039 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris at Fannin Mart on the Res is quickly becoming Rankin County's go-to spot for pizza, burgers, pasta, appetizers, daiquiris, and more. Try their famous Wheel of Flavor pizza. You can add up to 3 different specialty pizzas onto one pie, such as the Margarita, Sergeant Pepperoni, Acme Beat Buster, Pig, Pesto Chicken, the Old Mexico, the Supreme, or hey, just build your own custom pizza. Acme also has a full bar with 9 different frozen daiquiris to choose from. Open daily at 4 p.m. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle serviced or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
In the heart of Flora, there's a place where love, laughter, and comfort come with every cut, color, and style. At our family-owned salon, you're not just a client. You're part of the family. Come share a smile with Shelby, Henley, and Rhonda, ready to make you feel beautiful inside and out. Whether it's a fresh new look or a little time to relax, we've got the chair waiting for you. So step in and feel at home. Find us on Facebook at In Style Salon Flora.
CBS News Brief. The International Monetary Fund predicts the U.S. and global economies will grow more than expected this year, despite President Trump's tariffs. But the IMF chief economist, Pierre-Olivier Gourinchas, points out
the potential for supply chain disruptions could quickly lower global output
by as much as 0.3 percentage point as we explore in our downside scenario.
Day 14 of the government shutdown and problems persist at the airport. The FAA issued a ground stoppage in Austin last night.
I did go a little earlier, just thinking that the lines might have been a little longer.
Tearful reunions continue as Israeli hostages are reunited with family. Moshe Lavi's brother-in-law among them.
Now we're focusing on his healing, focusing on our family being complete again. And the road is still long, but I'm so happy that we've reached this moment after 2 long years.
The bodies of 24 Israelis still not returned. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now that's our kind of hustle. Make it a sweet kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House sweep the kitchen and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Come check us out at Planter Supply in the heart of downtown Bentonia. Not only are we here to cover all of your food plot needs, but you will find that we're fully stocked with a variety of ammo and other hunting necessities, including feeders, cameras, and climbing stands. Your pet's health is important to us as well. We have a wide array of animal health products and accessories, along with the highest quality feed for your livestock and pets. So come check us out at Planter Supply in the heart of downtown Bentonia, or give us a call at 662-755-8782.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420. MyPureAirConsultants.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the greatest part of your day. 9:39 in the morning, the Chip Matthews Show on the air. Jamie Creel in the studio with me. Also, Fred Cerami. What you got for a special this week? I'm going to do it again.
Chicken piccata.
Chicken piccata.
One of the best dishes.
I like that. I like chicken piccata.
Capers and lemon. Oh, yes.
And they're open tonight.
5 o'clock tonight, we start serving chicken piccata. Come and join us. I'll be there.
I'll be there for supper.
I'll be there.
Okay, Jamie. Let's talk about this.
Let's do it.
I know. When you get on the phone texting.
No, you're good.
That's it.
I was just reaching out to my friend.
That's just what happens to kids in school.
That's right. Well, my friend Eloise Hilton, she's an avid listener of you and Chip's show, and I was just trying to send her a message. And sweet lady, had a chance to visit with her yesterday, and went over there and sat on her porch, and we talked for quite some time, and it was just absolutely a pleasure.
And we were talking about the aspects of networking. You being on the show, this, that, the other. That's something that you get in school, and it stays with you.
Yes, it does.
The people you meet, and then you go off to college and you meet. I remember in high school, our teacher told us, all your friends now will not be your friends in 10 years.
No, sir.
I don't agree with that.
Well, where you went to school?
I went to Canton. We all were still friends, and still friends to this day.
Well, I tell my Sunday school all the time, so you have 3 levels of friends. Your high school friends are the most immature friends that you'll have.
Oh, yeah.
So don't be sharing pictures and don't do anything that you want to come back to bite you in 10 years and then when you get to college, those are the people that's going to be in your wedding, and then your business friends end up being your most personalized friends because everybody's maturity level has grown so much.
Right.
But anywho, story for another day.
And, it's like in your business, the insurance business, and we're in the restaurant business. If you don't make friends,
you don't have a business. You
don't have anything.
Nope.
So, and this is something that needs to happen for the kids growing up when they're in school. And so when we talk about affluency or this, that, and the other, let's talk about public school versus private school affluency. I guess that would be something to look at, because just because you send your money like follows your kid and it would go with you to a private school, they're not particularly just getting a better education because they went to private school.
Correct.
Because the public school in Madison is already producing.
Oh, yeah. So all right, when you look at the fluency between public and private schools,
Right.
All right, number one, how do you measure the fluency in private school? I mean, they don't have the accountability model, so you can't match it based on the accountability model, because whatever the state says you have to do to be able to graduate, they don't have those same restrictions.
Right.
So the only thing you can do is, I guess, match up SAT, ACT, standardized test, and look at it from that standpoint.
Right.
Now you got to look at most private school kids are going through what I would call a fully structured environment from K through 12.
Right.
Whereas, there's more opportunities per se if you're going to a larger public school.
Right.
I know Madison Central, the last couple principals over there have been really big friends of mine, Teague Birchfield. And I just asked him one day, man, how do y'all keep producing 180 plus kids a year, making a 30 on the ACT?
Right.
That's just astounding to me.
Right.
The amount of scholarships that just come out of that feature. And what he told me made 100% sense. So they celebrate it, number one. And that's like I tell every agent in my office, when you have success, how small or how large, make sure you celebrate it. Because if you don't, then it just becomes second nature. And then when it stops, you need to celebrate every win, every success that you may have. And so when they have these kids that reach that 30 level at Madison, their picture goes up on the halls.
Right.
Like if they have a 5-star athlete, they may do the same with him, so they put it up there like it's a big deal. And when it's a big deal to the principal and the teachers, then it becomes a big deal for the kids. Now, they also have brought back people that they have in the past deemed teacher wise that were big success in them reaching those scores. And so these teachers who are now retired and are hired to come back a couple classes a day and teach how to take these standardized tests. Once again, that's standardized, teaching them how to take a standardized test, but to have the thought to do that, to prepare these kids, to get them ready for the college pre-entrance exams or whatever the case may be, is off the charts. Now, everybody does not have the resources to do that.
Right.
And but they have done that. They have made it a priority to prioritize those scores.
So would you say that the teaching to the test is good in a school that can provide the atmosphere to do that? Or should we get rid of the standardized test?
In my opinion, I mean, you can't get rid of the standardized test. You can get rid of the state test.
The state
the
test.
Standardized test is what's going to allow you to get into college.
So ACT, teach to that.
I don't think there's any way we can get around that, public or private. Everybody's going to be subject to that. But what I'm saying is, instead of having to bog these public school kids down into English 2, biology, algebra 1, and U.S. history, which no longer,
Right.
I mean, we're spending our whole school day of doing nothing but teaching to those tests to make sure they pass so we can at least look decent in public.
Right.
And that dumbs us down.
Right.
Instead of creating critical thinking processes moving forward with, what do you do if you're a doctor and this goes wrong? What do you do next? What do you do next? I mean, going through the thought, you don't have time to
problem solve.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you don't have time to spend more time on that.
I mean, because in a business, you'll open up a business and if you got to make it. If this isn't working, you do that.
Yeah, what happens if your oven goes out?
We're going to fix it. If I can't fix it, I'm going to call somebody that can fix it. But it's got to happen.
Yeah.
It's not and we're going to think about it. And we're going to, we failed. We're going to go, we're enough tonight because we don't have a grill.
Yeah. And then what if you don't have a stove to boil your water for your noodles? I mean, you know what I'm saying? They don't have a chance to go through those type of problems because they're so focused on getting the answers to this test right.
That's life. When you say, Fred?
That's life. I want to go back to something you said.
Okay.
Celebrate your accomplishments.
Right.
It goes with the home also, the house.
Yeah.
Your family.
Right.
When your kid does something, compliment them.
Okay.
And they'll do it again.
Yeah.
Same thing in life.
Yep.
Maybe that goes back to opening the door for someone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you walk in a place and somebody opens the door for you, you thank
Compliment.
them
Thank
with
you
the
so
thank
much.
you. The
Thank
thank
you so
you
much.
is an reward for having
Amen.
done that, and it's for you, and it shows that you've been brought up with some civility, and you know, I was always the person when they're in school, they said, Chip, okay, you do it the bad way. Like, for instance, get the cookie on the other side of the plate where you can show them. I said, why have I always got to be the bad guy? But I did that all my life. When I was in places, they just said, you'll recover. But that's the little things. And I remember them to this day.
You know, we hear this hostility in our communities, and we see it on the news. And you made mention going to the Waffle House in Canton. And this morning around 6:30, I ate at the Waffle House in Byram. And the people in there are really kind.
Right.
I have never run into a black or a white in there, and I try to interact with everybody around me that has animosity toward anyone. They have Bible classes going on in there every single morning. I mean, there's 3 tables where a person is actually mentoring another person with the Bible every single day. And I just don't see that animosity. And I get home and I turn on the news, and I mean, there's animosity everywhere.
I mean, you know, got all these school shootings, all these, and it's not just school shootings, it's just neighborhood shootings. And then what's going to find out, like all these people that were killed in Leland were 18, 19. There was one older person, but most of them were 18, 19. My next question is, they haven't, because they hadn't caught anybody yet, how old were the shooters? Because in most of these cases, these shooters are going to be 16, 15, 14.
Well, the one
in a stolen car.
Right. One of them was unidentified because of age. They did say that last night on the news. And I try not to watch the news, man. It's so depressing. But you have to be aware of what could go wrong out there. And it's just what an influx we had last weekend. We had the 3 shootings there, and then we had Jackson State, we had Alcorn, and LSU.
And this just came in. Woman shot while riding an SUV in Jackson, dies at the hospital today. And they're seeking a black car with Louisiana plates. And they were just drive-by shooting, random shot.
Yes,
it's constant. It's constant. And I mean, I don't, you know, National Guard, whatever, they need to bring it in. And then I see where I just saw on here where Mississippi Valley State is locking down their campus for this weekend for their homecoming. And then also they're locking them down at all the high schools this weekend.
How are they locking them down?
Well, they're requiring more security checks. They're not allowing certain things to happen. Clear, you know, all the
clear bag policy.
They had that at the fair this year, clear bag policy.
Right.
And I can tell you this, when, you know, I've been to every one but one home game at Ole Miss. I mean, it kind of makes me nervous a little bit of how lax security is going into a football. I mean, when you're sitting there with 75,000 people, you know, they have really laxed the security up there due to the events that's going on in the world.
Yeah. And then, you know, you go, you know, unfortunately, I'd hate to say this, it's probably very easy to carry a liquor bottle at any of these college football games, because I know I have, but then now they sell it on campus. But I mean, now that you have the added of alcohol at the college football level, you know, the head's got to be on a swivel.
You bet.
You can't go to a game and not, you know, used to it was just the one drunk guy on one shelf. Now it's everybody in the stadium is drinking. And so you have to, the security measures need to be tight. And it's just like in these neighborhoods where we don't write tickets. It's like in Canton, I was told the other day, I said, need to pick that guy up for public drunk. We don't do public drunk anymore. I said,
well, that's the only way you're going to deter it.
I said, if we start doing the little things, the public drunk, the parking cars wrong, the riding through town with your windows down with offensive music coming out, that's illegal.
Yeah.
You know, if you start doing all that, then they would start thinking of Canton just like they do of Rankin County. I'm not going to Rankin County to do that.
That's right. Well, they wouldn't do it in Madison County. I mean, they may do it in the city of Canton, but they ain't do it in Madison County.
Right.
God told me, you want to be successful one day, you start off with the little things.
All of it.
If you make your bed first thing in the morning, that gets your mind ready to do every task that you could possibly be put before you for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Thank you. I made my bed this morning.
There you go, Fred. So you're ready for the day.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to be back with Jamie Creel and Fred Cerami on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
So you're ready for the day.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to be back with Jamie Creel
and Fred Cerami on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
.1039 WYAB.
If you ever been stuck on the side of the road with engine trouble or because of an accident, you know how frustrating that can be. I'm Chad Stevens of Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. We'll help take some of the stress out of this stressful situation. We've been rated by AAA as one of the top 10 towing services in the entire USA. Why? Well, just ask our customers. So keep our number in your cell phones and call us if you need us. 662-755-8645. That's Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. 662-755-8645.
Vans Comics Cards and Games is your local sports cards and memorabilia store, plus Pokemon, board games, comics, and more. Get in the game, make history, and own it at Vans Comics Cards and Games, Pear Orchard Road in Ridgeland, and at vansccg.com. Better ingredients, better pizza with a better website. Papa John's and papajohns.com team up for the best experience. Save more with Papa Rewards and all the best deals. Order today and enjoy the new specials and Papa's pairings at papajohns.com and at locations throughout the metro.
Can anyone in Jackson say the name of Bravo, Broad Street, and Sal and Mickey's Catering Company? Yes. Let's find out.
Mangia Bini.
Mangia Ben. Mangia Benet? It actually is Mangia Bene. Mangia Bene. It's Mangia Bene. It means eat well in Italian, and it's the catering group for Bravo, Broad Street, and Sal and Mickey's.
Mangia Bene Catering. Choose us, and you'll always eat well. 3 restaurants, 1 call. Mangia Bene Catering.
Mangia Bene.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Are you looking for the perfect bottle to elevate your next dinner? The ultimate destination for wine lovers is 042 Wine and Spirits on West Government Street in Brandon. The locally owned, the locally operated 042 Wine offers something for everyone, from local favorites to rare vintage wines. 042 Wine and Spirits can help you find your next favorite wine. The friendly and knowledgeable folks at 042 Wine and Spirits will help you find the perfect bottle for every occasion. 042 Wine and Spirits, located on West Government Street in Brandon.
There's never been a better time to buy a new construction home in the city of Brandon at Hyde Park. Take advantage of builder incentives, including seller pay closing costs or rate buydowns that help you lower your payment by hundreds. Prices start at $299,000 at Hyde Park. These beautiful homes offer LVP flooring, gas fireplace, and 2-car garages, all backed by a wonderful builder's warranty. Hey, I'm Brad Burleson with UList Realty, and I'd love to show you around Hyde Park anytime. Give us a look at our website, ulistms.com, or simply Google Hyde Park Brandon.
Hi, everyone. This is Matt Wasilowski, owner and general manager of 1039 WYAB. How much money does the state of Mississippi spend on advertising? A little over $10 million each and every year. Apparently, some people think that it's vitally important for the state of Mississippi to promote the Memorial Stadium, the Department of Marine Resources, soybean and rice products, MDOT, the State Fair, and the worst category of all, miscellaneous advertising expenditures for who knows what. And who pays for it all? In most cases, you, the taxpayer. I find that absolutely abhorrent. That's why 1039 WYAB refuses to accept advertising dollars from state government agencies. If you ever do hear a state agency advertising on WYAB, we're not getting paid for it. We stay on the air due to the support of the many businesses that you hear advertising every day on 1039 WYAB. So I only ask that you please tell our advertisers that you appreciate their support of 1039 WYAB. And keep listening.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB, and I'm here with Jamie Creel. I'm here with Fred Cerami, and we're talking about all things school choice and education freedom. And we have been wrongly accused of supporting the wrong side when we don't have anything that's been written as a bill. But here's what I'm going to say. I want Jamie to explain to us in a nutshell. I want you to talk to the legislators, because this really, the people, because we don't have a ballot initiative, we're really not in it.
So the first thing people have to understand.
I want you to tell the politician.
Okay.
Why he should be for it.
Okay. This is not a Republican Democrat issue.
Right.
Okay. First and foremost, everybody wants to make every issue out of a Republican and Democrat. This is not that. Okay. This is an issue of, if you're going to do this and you're going to allow the money to follow the kid,
right,
whether it's into private school, another public school, you have to have fairness in what you do.
Right.
Okay. You have to have, either you have accountability, and they had the state, for since education's been involved, has mandated what the public school system has to do.
Right.
Not on the private school level.
Right.
Okay. So either you have to mandate on both sides, either give both of them the same accountability, or remove it from both. You can't handcuff one with the accountability model and say, over here you have it and over here you don't.
Okay.
That's not fair.
Right.
That's first and foremost. Secondly, we have to figure out a way to educate the people in the western part of the state or the Mississippi Delta.
Right.
You know, there's one county in Mississippi that does not have a school in it. You know which one that is?
I have no idea.
What about you, Fred?
I have no idea.
Issaquena. Issaquena has no school, no private school, no public school. So they're already having to be forced out to travel to different areas of the state. Because, I mean, that's unheard of not to have a school in a county now.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy.
And when you say that, we have 144 districts in a state with 82 counties.
Correct.
And one county doesn't have a school at all.
That's correct.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, that's the problem we have, though. I mean, it's least populated.
Yes.
I mean, and so these kids are getting shipped out to, they either go to Vicksburg, Warren, or the ones in the northern part of the state, northern part of the county, go to the South Delta, the one in the eastern part, go to Yazoo City.
Right.
But, you know, that if I'm talking to legislators, and there needs to be some type of reform, you really need to have a plan. I would encourage you to wait a year, let the business rules, like I talked about on the early part of the show, if you could let them hit, and then when the scores fall, then I think you're going to have more people jump on your bandwagon to be pro school choice after that happens than doing it now when we're pounding our chest over the Mississippi Miracle.
So the Mississippi Miracle is good. It's working. We want to throw that in the garbage and do something different is what we're doing. What we need to do is more education reform, fix what we got, wait a year, chalk this problem out to where it makes sense to all of us, and then move forward. This trying to hurry it through,
No,
you know,
accountability and the money. I mean, that's the two things. What are you going to do with accountability, and how are you going to fund doing what you say you're going to do?
That's all we're after.
Yeah.
It's slow down. It hadn't got to be done overnight. Just like y'all couldn't do the budget in time last year.
There's
Slow
going
down.
to be 52,000 parents in private school parents in Mississippi that's going to be outraged if they don't receive monies coming off this school choice.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. That's going to do it for us. We're out of here. Say bye, Fred.
Bye.
Bye. See you.